Alright, everybody, welcome back to Mildly Entertaining. I'm Void.
I'm Jack of the Captain Variety.
Today we're looking at Malicious Compliance.
Okay, so that's that thing where you do what you're told, but you do it because you're being an asshole.
Less asshole, more petty.
Petty's
It's
fun.
like you know that following what they want you to do is going to be wrong, but there's no telling them because they're a brick wall, so you're like, fine. I guess I'll just show you.
I'll prove it.
And then you don't get in trouble because you did what they wanted.
Can't get in trouble.
Our first video is, manager said we should... 3 words in. 3 words in. I've already fucked up.
Yeah, that happens.
This video's not looking to be a great one, guys. Manager said we couldn't leave until every table's fully wiped. So we did. I worked at a fast food place in high school. Our closing manager was a power-tripping jerk. I feel like one of those, when I said that, I feel like one of those blondes from, like, California. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like, too, that's going to be a common theme. Just some egotistical power-tripping douchebag.
No, the way it was
shit.
just the way it was worded. And I don't mean offense to any blondes or anyone from California. I don't know how to say it, but it's one of those attitudes where they're like kind of like bubbly but with attitude. Anyway, one night right at closing, he barked at us. I don't want to see a single crumb. Every table must be fully wiped before you clock out. We usually did a quick spray and wipe, but he was being especially awful. So my coworker and I took him at his word. We got fresh, soaking wet rags and fully wiped every single table, chair, and bench seat. We didn't dry them off. The entire dining area... to be fair, he didn't say anything about drying them off. He just said, fully wiped. The entire dining area was covered in a thin, uniform layer of water. When he came out to inspect, he was furious. "They're all wet," he yelled. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You said fully wiped. You didn't say anything about drying them." "Not a crumb in sight, sir." We clocked out and left him to dry the entire restaurant by himself. Be careful what you wish for, you know?
Shit again. I'm saying. That's the best kind of petty shit. I like, too, that both you and the OP went to the same placement.
Yeah. Like, you didn't say anything about drying them. You just said fully wiped.
It's like you knew exactly where that was going to go.
It's like maybe one day I'll be in this Reddit with a post.
I hope not.
It's fine. We'll just react to myself. It's fine.
That'll be an interesting one. Hi, today we're reacting to me because either I am an asshole or my boss is.
Next post. The comments were no fun, so I'm not going to read them.
Aww. Bored people.
All items on floor are trash. Have fun rooting through the dumpster. That one's vague.
Oh, I get the feeling something got thrown away that wasn't supposed to.
Oh.
But because of that new rule, yeah, I can see where I think I can see where this one's going. What new rule? Somebody's got to go dump everything on the floor is trash. So something that was.
I literally read that.
You literally read.
Yeah. That. Listen, okay. Shut up.
I am listening.
Am I listening? That's the issue. Or the question.
That's the issue.
Anyway.
Both of those things.
Yeah, well. I'm a custodian for an office building. I clean bathrooms, take out trash, vacuum, etc. I clean in the morning before the office opens. When collecting trash, I'd occasionally find some loose papers under or behind desks, beside the trash can, or otherwise on the floor. Since I'm not sure if these papers are trash that missed the can or important documents that fall on the floor by accident, I pick them up and put them on the corner of the nearest desk for the workers to either file them away or toss them. Better safe than sorry.
Makes sense.
However, The manager did not like this habit. She came in early one morning, expressing disgust that trash is being placed on people's desks. Parentheses, obviously, I never put actual trash like food wrappers or crumpled papers on desks. I explained my reasoning for my habit and expressed that I didn't want to risk tossing something important. My manager told me that everything on the floor is trash and the workers aren't such immature slobs to drop important documents on the floor. I agreed and said I'd never do it again. Flash forward several weeks. My manager came in early again and expressed concerns because a filing cabinet had tipped over I guess they meant the day before, and despite picking up the papers, they were still missing a few important documents. She asked if I'd seen them. I reminded her that since everything on the floor is trash, the documents were probably thrown away. She was irate, saying, but was an exception since a filing cabinet fell over. I asked her how I was supposed to know that when I'm not here during the day and was otherwise not informed to look out for these documents. That's when the situation dawned on this woman's eyes that this was her fault. She stumbled through some excuses before demanding I go to the dumpster and find the papers.
No.
Yeah, my immediately answer would be no. I told
Followed
her...
by middle finger.
Yeah, and then walking out. Yeah, for sure.
While walking backwards.
Because I lost that job. Anyway, while I cleaned... I told her that the office was opening in 15 minutes and I still had work to do. She stormed off and said she'd start looking in the dumpster. While I cleaned, I knew I'd face her again before leaving. My car was parked by the dumpster. So I thought of what to say to her as a final nail in the coffin. Sure enough, when I finished my work and walked out, the manager and a few other workers who'd arrived were rooting through the dumpster. When the manager spotted me, she demanded I come help. I delivered my prepared line. Ma'am, my job description is to take out trash. Your job description is to ensure the safety and confidentiality of your client's files. I walked away to, in my head, a cartoonesque villain scream of outraged failure from my manager. A few hours later, and I got a text saying there will now be a special inbox shelf for me to place any papers found on the floor for the workers to go through.
Told you, bitch. Get you some.
Pretty wholesome in the comments. I'll take it.
Kind of odd, given that it's Reddit.
Oh, I love this comment. I'd make a huge show of looking at my wrist, the watch, then at the manager. Could I get that in writing that you're authorizing overtime for me to fix your error?
In those words.
Yeah. Next. Oh, this one's IT. This one's going to be good. IT wanted process over results. I gave them process and panic.
Yay!
Tycho.
I love a good dumpster fire.
Our friend Tycho might like this one because it's IT.
And he has to deal with stupid people all the time.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of years ago, I got shuffled out of the business side and into IT doing reorganization. The official reason was better alignment with software delivery. The real reason? I'm expensive. I don't do sales, and IT has a bigger budget. Also, and this is educated speculation, I kept not approving IT's builds for not meeting specs, which apparently makes me difficult and not solution-oriented. So now, I report to the executive, and I had previously challenged over the quality of his team's work. Since joining IT, everything has to be a ticket. Doesn't matter if it's a question, a clarification, or divine revelation, no ticket, no work. PMs handle ticket creation and damn it!
Can you word?
Prioritization, which sounds fine in theory, except my actual job is to consult with business analysts and developers. I know more about the rules, regulations, and use cases of our software than anyone in the company, and my work doesn't easily fall into a ticket as it's more of a problem-solving role for existing tickets. Still, no ticket, no work. Bureaucracy over brains. This is a long one. Get ready, you guys. What was that?
God.
Okay.
Just tell us a story, don't give us a novel.
It just sounded like screeching to your people in my ear.
If I had people, that's probably what I'd sound like.
Clients, especially senior ones, tend to reach out to me directly because I can actually answer their questions. Normally, I just respond and, if needed, make a ticket afterward for tracking. But management didn't like that. After one particularly spirited discussion that was quoted over delays to close low-priority tickets in lieu of responding to high-priority client emails, my boss told me to stop responding to client emails altogether. I was to forward them to PMs who would create, prioritize, and assign tickets. I explained patiently that these emails often come from executives and need quick turnaround. Boss's response? Follow the process or we won't know how overworked you are. Okay then, boss. Let's follow the process. A week later, I get an email from the CFO of one of our biggest clients asking for details about a customized bill. Normally, I'd get an estimate out in a couple of hours. Instead, I CC'd my boss and PM, confirmed I'd received the request, and politely asked them to create and assign a ticket. A few days later, the CFO followed up, "We need this by Friday." I replied again, CCing everyone, apologizing for the delay and asking that the assigned resource take note of the urgency, knowing full well no one had assigned the ticket. Behind the scenes, I had already done the estimate and informed the client what was happening. Spoiler, nothing. Suddenly, my boss is frantically pinging me. Why haven't we gotten back to the CFO? I calmly remind him that 1, he told me to only work on assigned tickets. 2, he was CC'd on every email. 3, he'd have to ask the PM for a status update. There was a long, delicious silence before he finally replied, "Okay, ... You don't need a ticket for everything. In the future, if it's from an executive, just respond and make a ticket afterward." Sure thing, boss. Glad we cleared that up. I sent the estimate, everyone was happy and peace was restored. And better yet, management now puts results over process. Well, the first part anyway was, but peace and results, well, that's a malicious compliance story for another day.
Yay! Part 2.
Yeah, I like that whole, that's a story for another day. We'll have to see if there is another post from this OP for future malicious compliance videos.
Yeah, baby. I love IT. They come up with some of the most creative shit.
Yeah. Next post. But after I take a sip of tea, because my throat is a little parched. Spoiler. I took 2 sips.
That counts as a full drink at that point.
In a 40-ounce tumbler?
Yeah.
Okay. Use only the official uniform. This one's short, I promise. This one's short. I worked part-time at a fast food place in Texas. Oh, then I'm definitely not going to use the uniform.
Mm-mm.
We had a manager who was weirdly obsessed with rules. Once, she announced that we were only allowed to wear official work uniform items. Nothing extra. So I'm guessing like watches, bracelets, earrings, hats maybe, scarves, socks. Imagine that there's no socks in the uniform policy, and they do this, so you just come to work with no socks.
Bam. No socks.
Bam. My problem is that the restaurant's AC was always broken, and I usually wore a plain black baseball cap to keep sweat out of my eyes. She told me to take it off because it wasn't official uniform. I reminded her that the sun hits directly through the front windows and I'd be dripping sweat over the fryer. She didn't care. Official uniform only, she repeated. So I took off the hat. Within an hour, sweat was literally running down my face and into my eyes. I had to keep stopping to wipe my forehead, slowing everything down. Orders backed up, customers got irritated, and she finally asked, "Why are you moving so slow?" I replied and said, "Official uniform only." By the next shift, she magically approved hats for everyone. Not as detailed, not as more to come, but I still liked it. Packed a punch.
Sometimes the short ones are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Because, you don't need 3 paragraphs when 3 sentences is enough. Next. Stop reporting about office burnout. Okay. Done.
I just want to go right now and say, this didn't even have to be a malicious compliance story. This could have been an immediate trip to HR, which would have caused so many more problems for this manager.
Yeah.
Because they take that shit very seriously.
Yeah, they do. Well, they should, anyway. Fun fact I learned. You have to have a degree in human resources to be HR.
I don't think some do.
I think when people think HR, it's very surface level of what they think HR does. But HR is actually like the backbone of a company. If you don't know what HR does, you really should Google it. Because it's more than just inter-office relationship bullshit. Anyway. My field of work has a high turnover and high burnout rate. As a result, my company promotes transparent conversations with staff members to ensure that we are all implementing self-care, taking PTO as needed, and asking for managerial support when overwhelmed with tasks. Last year, my work began to suffer. I was struggling losing 2 close family members suddenly, and was transparent in hopes they would understand why I was withdrawn and had lower productivity. My manager wrote me up as a result of my burnout, citing that I was using our one-on-ones inappropriately, causing stress among the team with my grief, and talking about being burnout too much. The write-up included every single one-to-one documentation of when I asked for help with burnout. Management instructed me to stop talking about burnout. No problem. I stopped bringing up burnout, being transparent, and asking support. About 2 months later, I request a 7-week leave of absence, citing extreme burnout and mental health issues. Management was shocked and angry. I did not tell them I was struggling or burning out. I handed them a copy of my write-up and said, the action plan I received stated I could not talk about burnout anymore. Management was scolded for inadvertently creating a hostile work environment where staff couldn't ask for support. I got 7 weeks off. Oh, 7-week leave of absence, yeah. I got 7 weeks off and partial pay, and they had to cover my job for that entire time I was out.
That's a long time, too. Nearly 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. That one actually kind of made me sad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for OP for even having that much burnout. That they would need 7 weeks off.
Well, it sounds to me that it's already a rather hostile work environment. More needs to be done just than being able to talk about burnout.
Yeah, just, I don't think it's the staff, though. I think it's just the job.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. They just said my field of work. So, apparently, as of 21 days ago, they are feeling much better, though.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
AOP.
Last post.
Yay.
This one is going to be better than IT because this is HOA. HOA president wanted heat.
Because I hate HOAs as an institution.
I think the premise of them, what they were meant for, is a good idea. I just think that Karen's and Kevin's are put into positions they don't need to be put into.
PETA was a good idea at first, too, and look how that turned out.
That is incredibly fair. Incredibly fair.
Greenpeace. It always starts out good.
And then you get that one fucker.
And you get that one person.
Yeah.
Absolute power, man.
Anyway, I managed a New York City condo with central AC that, once switched to winter mode, can't go back to cooling until spring. New York City law requires heating starting October 1st, but October swings from chilly to unreasonably warm, so we usually wait for a real cold stretch before turning it on. Tenants were fine with this for years.
That makes sense.
Yeah, one chilly day was better than being unbearably hot for 10. Last year, the board president lost it over a slightly chilly day towards the middle of October. She sent an email demanding we turn on the heating system immediately, and that going forward, the heat must always be on by October 1st. She didn't care if other units were uncomfortably warm, and that she's the board president, and she should be comfortable in her unit. Honestly, at that point, just get a space heater.
Yeah. I would have already had one, just knowing that fact.
Yeah.
That it swings so wildly in October.
This year, we followed her orders. On October 1st, heat on. At the annual meeting, tenants were furious. They wanted to know why a system that had worked for years was suddenly broken. The president started chewing me out for getting her email from the previous year. Not wanting to deal with her nonsense, I got the green light from my boss to pull up her own email on the projector. Her exact words, her exact demands. She went pale, and for the first time ever, had nothing to say. She lost her position in the election. Her replacement was very happy. We called her out, and we renewed our contract for 5 more years.
Yay! Yay! And they fixed the air conditioner problem.
That was definitely a Karen.
Oh, absolutely. It's always a Karen.
Yeah. Let's face it.
It's always
most of HOAs. Now there are some good HOAs out there. Don't let us just dog on your HOA if it does work.
We just don't know who they are because they don't make for good
radio. You don't really hear about them. There was an eyelash.
You don't hear about the good ones. You only ever hear about the bad ones.
Well, it's like news. You don't hear good news. You only hear bad news. It's kind of like the concept of you can have a million good comments, but that one negative is always going to stick out.
I forget what they called it, but in World War II, they were trying to decide how to armor their airplanes.
Yeah.
And they were basing where they should armor on the planes that they were examining. So where there were bullet holes in the tips of wings and the empty partitions of tails and shit like that, they said, well, we have to armor these spots. But the truth of the matter was, those planes made it back. They were fine.
Yeah, so did they need more armor?
It's the planes that didn't make it back. The planes where the bullet holes would have been where there are none in the planes that made it home. Those are the parts that needed to be armored. It's kind of the same thing. You see something and you think you have a viable solution because your brain gets biased by what it sees and not...
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I forget what they called that. There was a term for it, but I forget now what they used to call that. But it's kind of the same thing here. It's like we only ever hear about the bad HOA moments, the big OSHA violations, so we never really see the good that can come from OSHA or HOAs or what have you.
Another reason why I think that. I think we live in a society where it's like, okay, you did your job. What do you want, a medal?
Yeah, we don't... I mean, to an extent, that's probably okay.
Yeah.
But we don't incentivize...
But at the same...
Correct.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you still want to know that you're doing a good job. Your paycheck at the end of the week shouldn't be the, hey, good job. Because an idiot could still get a paycheck.
Yes. That is factual. not gonna point fingers, not gonna say names, but yes, can confirm that is factual.
Even I got a paycheck. Wait, were you pointing your finger at me?
I wasn't pointing a finger, no.
You were referring to me, weren't you?
I will not say names or point fingers. Needless to say, I have copious amounts, variable amounts of proof.
Motherfucker.
From various sources.
What sources? Who is it?
Yep. Can't say.
Who is it?
It's not one of us. I'll say that.
Oh, thank God.
But it's people we know of. Either we know them or we know of them.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
But I know of me.
Yes, but you also know you, so...
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Are we stupid?
Well, this has been a roller coaster. Yes.
Oh, well, okay. So long as I'm not gaslighting myself, you know.
No hesitation. We are 100% stupid.
Yeah.
No,
we're not stupid. We're mildly entertaining.
But also stupid.
Yeah.
We have orange cat energy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah.
Which we will bring to the next episode. And every episode after.
But if you did like this episode, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. Then you'll get more of our wonderful, charming personalities.
And our one brain cell mind.
Literally, we share a brain cell. And we're not even sure where it is right now. We think there's a third person.
Gone. It's lost. We gave it to the dog.
Bye!